Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Wednesday. All right, guys, so I'm really excited for this week, and I know that I don't even know why this is an unpopular opinion, and it's kind of annoying me at this point, but like, are we sleeping on the Real Housewives of Miami? Are we like not into it? I feel like a lot of people are just not wanting to watch that show, and I'm like, guys, it is so good. It is hands down at the moment best housewives that are on our TV screens. Legitimately. And this week, tonight we get a new episode, and then tomorrow we get a new episode, which I'm all about. I guess they're moving the time over now to Thursday. Okay. Listen, 2 episodes 1 week. I'm all for it. And the Valley came to an end. We're not back to talk about that. We're back to talk about Todd Chrisley, and he's finally opening up about what happened with his daughter Lindsie and how his whole family got destroyed. Wow. And Lindsie turned on her family. Oh, we're gonna play the tape. We're gonna roll it. Smash the like button, show some love, get subscribed, and let's go. All right, guys. So this is a lot. Just bear with me because it's a lot. Todd Chrisley, he appeared on Candy Burris' Speak On It podcast. So he addressed his fractured relationship with Lindsie. Now, he and Julie, they've obviously been released for I think a couple months now, which, all right, they're going to be returning back to reality TV. I think it's going to be the Chrisleys Back to Reality. That's going to be coming on September 1st on Lifetime. But he accused his daughter of being involved in the family's FBI investigation, saying that she helped start that. And he said that the network positioned her as a friend of the show. And he said that, listen, at the time, I think that she was trying to take us down, or she was upset with us, upset with the family. I don't know what it was, but she lived in Atlanta while the rest of the family was in Nashville, and she didn't want to be open about her marriage, is what production said. And this led to increased production costs for her travel and childcare, and eventually she was removed from the show. And Todd said that after that, Lindsie started suing the production company, and after that, she was effectively blacklisted and she wasn't invited back. So Todd claims that they later discovered Lindsie was communicating with Josh Waits, who is a Georgia Department of Revenue official, after all of this happened. Now, this official has been fired, but Lindsie allegedly provided the official with family information, leading to a $1 million settlement paid to the Chrisleys by Georgia. And when asked how it felt, Todd said that the betrayal was heartbreaking and pain that might never go away. Him and his daughter, I don't think that they'll come back from this. I truly don't think that they're going to come back from this. But I'm not going to sit here and I'm going to let him share it. But no, I really don't think that they're coming back from this. Wait, here we go. I'm going to roll the tape. Go on and speak on it, Candy.
So whatever.
She was involved in this, and she was involved in the investigation. She helped to start that.
But why?
Lindsie was on the show, and for the network made the decision that they wanted to make Lindsie kind of like a friend of the show, for the lack of a better saying. She lived in Atlanta. We lived in Nashville. She wasn't willing to be open about her marriage and things there, according to what production would tell us. And I got the phone call and said that the network is thinking about doing this, but they don't want to piss you off. And I said, well, you're going to cause a problem in our family. I said, because she's going to feel ostracized.
Yeah, it would cause a problem.
And I never wanted it. But that was the decision that Adam Greener made to limit her role, because they were having to fly her. You know this in television. They're going to cut whatever budgets they can.
Yeah, because they're trying to save money.
Save money. And so they were having to fly her to Nashville every week, put her in a hotel.
Yeah.
You know, Jackson had to have somebody to take care of him. There was a budget for that, or she was trying to get a budget for it. I forget what that was. And they basically they took her off the show. And then there was a threat of litigation from her.
So I want to chime in really quick here. That kind of sucks. And I could see, like, if Lindsie needed all of these extra things and she became very expensive, and but I'm just kind of wondering, why didn't you just take the time? I get it, you have a husband and a whole life, but why didn't you just take the time to invest into the show because it was paying you. So as a job, and then you take your son with you, you go film for a couple months and you go stay with them or something. And then you end up going back, you make the money. You look at it like a job. I wouldn't have made it so difficult. So if you're starting to make it difficult, and a lot of people do this on reality TV, it's like after 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, you've seen Alex Baskin, who is an executive producer of like all of these Bravo shows. And you've even seen the executive producer of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And he's like, the thing that I have to tell you is don't get a big head or a big ego after 1 or 2 seasons, because when we see that, that's why shows like, what was it? Bling Empire, Netflix. Like, that's why these shows end up not making it back on air, because everybody becomes so difficult. I've seen it with Vanderpump Rules. I remember when people were like, when Lisa was trying to get a hold of people on Vanderpump Rules and she was getting sent to their assistants and she didn't even have an assistant. That's why that contributed to her being like, okay, well, we're done with you guys. So reboot time. Now, here we go.
Her side against the production company. And you know yourself, when you start suing the network,
That's a problem.
that's a problem. And you're now putting yourself in a position to where they're never going to call you back.
Yeah, they never gonna want you back.
No. And so that happened. And then we find out from this girl that Kyle was dating.
Mhm.
She called us and told us that Lindsie was working with Josh Waits, who worked for the Georgia Department of Revenue, who has now been fired.
Mhm.
And the Georgia Department of Revenue paid us $1 million in a settlement. But she was working with him and giving him information about the family.
How did that feel?
I don't know that pain will ever go away. I think sometimes there's certain.
That is malicious as hell. That, honestly, I don't care unless like you're dealing with somebody who just, like, your parent beat the crap out of you and you just hate them. I would never do that to I wouldn't do it to a sibling. I wouldn't do it to a sibling that I hated. I would not try to take their life and turn it upside down and put them in prison. I would never. That's malicious as hell. That does call for you to just go away. I would be done with her ass. I would be done. But hold on.
Things that happen in your life, that the pain never goes away. You just learn to live with it. And
Did you call her?
We talked and she denied it. And then when the indictment came down and our attorneys started getting a sharing of information with the federal government, we then find out about the communication between her and Josh Waits. Our attorneys subpoena the phone records. They get the text messages. And then there were emails between her and the FBI.
Oh my God.
And it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. And it still is, Candy.
Do y'all communicate at this
We
point?
do not.
Oh.
We do not. And that you and I were talking earlier, and I said, sometimes you have to bless those that have harmed you and hurt you and ask that God move them on.
Yeah.
And as bad as that is where I am with it. I have asked for God to temper my heart, to take away all the bitterness and all the anger, and for God to bless her, because I do love her son. But that I also have to be a good steward of what God has entrusted in me. And what God has entrusted in me is my wife and my other children.
Okay. Yeah, this is a tough one. So the truth finally comes out. Wow, that is, I mean, and I can only imagine being Todd and Julie and seeing you guys, seeing the messages, the phone calls, the emails, like actually seeing what she was saying. Oh my God, where are those WikiLeaks? Like, I would love to see those. I want to hear what you guys think. Would you go back if this was your daughter? Would you be able to repair that relationship? That's my question, because I'm one of those people, like, when I'm good on you and I'm done, and I don't have a kid, and I understand that's a different kind of love. But he's right. You do have to protect the rest of the family. And the rest of the family, like, they have other kids who were without parents. And there were a lot of things that happened because of this. And a lot of people might say, well, good, you did illegal shit. And other people would be like, no, they didn't. And they were able to prove that. But then other people would also say, well, obviously you weren't able to prove it because that's why you went to prison before the pardon. Pop off, guys. Pop off. smash the like button, get subscribed, and I know you guys are gonna have some opinions.